Привет, товарищи, and welcome to the first video under the Comrade name. And for our first video, what I've decided to do is extract an idea that I've had in my head for years now and finally put it on the stage for the greater world to see. So, to enact this idea, we're going to need to play through the Great War mod for Hearts of Iron 4. And personally, I believe this is one of the most underrated mods for Hearts of Iron 4 in a pantheon of very excellent mods for the game. But one of the things I really do love about this particular mod is the 1919 start dates, which I don't believe I can think of any other grand strategy game or mod that has a start date like this. One of the great things I like about this particular 1919 start date is the Russian Civil War, which in this game is a great playthrough, honestly, either as the Reds or the Whites. So I know I've just spent all this time talking up the 1919 start date, but that's not what we're going to do today. What we're going to do today is exactly what I'm sure you all thought it was going to be, a historical Canada playthrough. So why did I have this crazy idea to play as Canada for a World War I playthrough? Well, one, I am Canadian, so obviously I have a bias to playing my own country. And two, us Canadians are extremely proud of our contributions in World War I. So I thought a playthrough as Canada would be an excellent opportunity to kind of showcase some of that and talk about some of that. And not only that, a little known fact is that Canada is actually a ton of fun to play as in this particular mod. So I'm going to show you how to have an entertaining time playing as Canada. Unfortunately, that promised entertainment isn't going to come until a bit later, as the opening moves of this campaign are going to be pretty uninspiring. It's going to be your basic Hearts of Iron research. As well, this World War I Hearts of Iron mod kind of limits a lot of the bonuses you get from research, so I think this is probably their way of preventing things from spiraling out of control. But like you can see there, research speed only plus 1%. And I mean, we may as well take it because there's nothing else to do with our research spots. Needless to say, research bonuses are less pronounced in this mod. And also less pronounced are the focus trees in general. Basically, this focus tree is just copy-pasted from the vanilla Hearts of Iron. And it's the generic focus tree that every country that doesn't actually have a focus tree gets. And honestly, it's one of my biggest complaints about this mod, is that you don't get a lot of variation. So at the start, we'll just start with industrial effort. Nothing crazy, nothing out of the ordinary there. When it comes to our actual industry, what I want to do is build up Canada's industry as high as I can possibly make it. I want to be producing guns, materials, artillery pieces, everything I possibly can to make sure that our boys are adequately equipped when the war actually kicks off. So on that note, let's fill out our military factories, our current military factories. We only have 3, so I'll just put 1 on each. We start off with a mighty army of 2 divisions, and of course we're going to put General Steele in command, because you just have to promote him based on the name alone. Now, are you guys ready for a blast from the past? Because if you don't remember, there used to be an exploit for Hearts of Iron 4. Back in the day, it was called the One Army Exercise trick, where you could simply erase all your divisions till you had 1 division left, and then you would just exercise that 1 division for all eternity, and it would give you an outsized amount of army XP. And this trick has unfortunately been patched out in the regular version, the vanilla version of Hearts of Iron. However, in this mod, it is not patched out, so we are going to make use of it. So I will admit that using this exploit will make my strategy a little easier, albeit not impossible. Let me just show you. As you can see here, we're still getting a considerable amount of army experience. And all that I'm going to do is take that army experience and use it to make some very powerful and very beefy infantry divisions that we're then going to take over to Germany. So this looks like it's working out very well so far, and our opening moves are settled here. So I'm going to just do a quick recap. Basically at the start, all we're doing is building up our industry, taking whatever national focuses we can that will give us factories or industry bonuses or anything like that. So with that in mind, I'm just going to jump ahead a couple years, and once I have more to say, we'll be back. We are back in 1912, literally a couple years later, and I finally have something interesting to show you guys, and that is our final division template that we are going to use to take on Germany. And as you can see, this is a massive 40-width division that contains 4 light artillery brigades, and on top of that, 2 heavy artillery brigades. And then filling out the infantry corps is 11 infantry divisions, supported by engineers, artillery, cavalry recon detachment, field hospital, being Canadian, of course, we give our troops healthcare, and last but not least, a signal company. I may switch one of those out for a logistic company in the future if I find we're running into supply issues, but we'll cross that bridge when and if we get to it. Now that we have our division template, we can stop exercising what we have and actually pump out a few of these bad boys. That is, however many my population and army will currently allow. Over in the rest of the world, we can see that Italy beat the Turks in the Italo-Turkish War, taking Libya as a prize. What we're looking at right now is the First Balkan War, which I believe Italy is part of the Balkan League. Yes, they are. Historically, they did not join, if I'm not mistaken, which says to me the Ottomans are going to get their asses exceptionally kicked. Wow, here we go, getting a crap ton of guns from England, which is great because we're short in every single equipment category, but that's okay, because once I produce enough equipment to equip every single one of my soldiers, that's it, that's all she wrote. And Canada does not have a large population at this time. Only like 7 million, I think. So we can't really sustain a huge army. You know, there's one thing that really makes me sad about this mod. And that is that in 1911, you don't have the opportunity to change your Prime Minister as Canada. At this point in time, Sir Wilfrid Laurier is not the Prime Minister of Canada. At this point, it's one of my favorite Prime Ministers actually, Robert Borden, known for leading Canada through World War I, and actually women's suffrage as well. So very important Prime Minister. Unfortunately though, my boy Baba Borden just ain't getting his due. You know who does get his due though is a certain American president who is elected in 1912, the election which many people believe destroyed the entire country. That is, of course, the election in which Woodrow Wilson is elected president. And we're playing on historical, so he will be elected president. Sorry, I'm just looking for things to ramble on about while I choose focuses. Like I said, the focus tree is lifted from Vanilla Hearts of Iron, so it kind of doesn't matter which one you really choose. What really matters is that I got my division ready to go. Production-wise, all I got is enough to put one factory on everything that I need, so it's just slowly trickling out. So when it comes to my posts here, I really need to start filling them out. I've been banking political power for no particular reason. And one of the things, again, sorry, frustrating about this mod, is that we've got C.D. Howe here, who is not an advisor at this time. He's from Vanilla Hearts of Iron. He's a World War II Canadian advisor. And we can't ever unlock him because we don't have the national focus available to unlock him. So if the creators of this mod ever watch this video, let me say you guys do an excellent job, but please fix that. Please give Canada some real advisors. So I'm just filling out whatever's left of my posts here. I'll go with anti-submarine guy, I think. Yeah, in case the Germans decide to go submarine warfare. Just building destroyers and armored cruisers. Nothing exciting for my... Oh, look at this. The Emperor Meiji is dead. This is sad. Great Emperor. Not sure how he was as a human being, but he was great emperor. Let's take some time to see what's going on in China. Looks like the Qing dynasty is pretty much done. Wow, just as I said it, down they go. Fighting still going on in the Balkans. I can't believe that. You know, there's kind of a lull here in this 1912 period. There's not enough text to research, there's not really many national focuses. It's okay. I guess it's like the calm before the storm. So this whole Balkan War has really gone from bad to worse for the Ottomans. Yeah, they're getting destroyed. I can't believe they haven't packed it in yet. Look, they're going to lose Constantinople here, guys. They're going to lose it. There they go. They just lost it. They just lost Constantinople. Listen, boys. It's time to pack it in. You're done. It's over. You lost the capital. Finally, it's over. Looks like everything worked out as normal. Oh, here we go. The Second Balkan War, which is also known as Everybody Beats the Crap Out of Bulgaria. There's Romanian intervention now, and yeah, not gonna last long. White peace, wiped out for poor Bulgaria. Wait a minute. Is there a war still? Are they still fighting one another? Are Bulgaria and Romania still fighting? This is crazy. I don't think I've seen this either. Real clash of the titans going on here. I wonder who's winning right now. Looks like it's... Wow, actually, Romania is getting destroyed. 14,000 casualties. And, yeah, Romania has a smaller army as well. Bulgaria's doing really well so far. Really well. Alright, it has finally happened, everybody. Franz Ferdinand has died. And honestly, I'm not ready for it. I'm not ready whatsoever. You can see I'm still pretty low on equipment. My guys aren't filled out yet. We've got them deployed. They're trained up, by and large, most of them. But we're still missing a lot of equipment, which definitely isn't ideal. Fortunately, being Canada, we will be insulated from the conflict. Speaking of conflicts, the great Romanian-Bulgarian conflict still rages on. In this war, we can see that the Romanians are still not doing very well. However, they've managed to fill out their army a little bit, but they're getting about twice as many casualties as the Bulgarians. Here we go, everybody. The big war has started, and it's on. World War I is finally on. Rip the independent state of Croatia. So, World War I, as you can see, is upon us. And let me tell you guys how this usually goes down. What happens is that the Germans make very good gains in Russia. However, they bash their heads against the wall on the Western Front and get nowhere. Even less than in our historical timeline. Sometimes the Germans are even able to capitulate Russia very easily and very early, which is a nightmare scenario for the Entente. Just grabbing all the weapons and support we can. Russian Poland is completely collapsing. What usually dictates if Russia's going to hold on is if they get massively encircled in Poland and in the initial movements of the conflict. And honestly, it's not looking so good for Russia right now. They got to get these guys out. Ugh. Ugh. Got a small encirclement. Not looking good. The Austrians are bleeding in. France is just bashing their heads against the German lines, getting absolutely nothing for probably ridiculous casualty ratios. There's no Schlieffen plan here, guys. No miracle on the Marne. Just endless waves of French troops getting themselves slaughtered against German machine guns. Serbia looking like they're going to collapse as well. They held on pretty good, but the Austrians are bleeding in. They're not going to capitulate right away. They'll fall back to the mountains here. Canada is now officially full. All my building spots are maxed out. There's nothing more to do, I guess, except build infrastructure. Look at these heroic Russians, holding on against all odds. But it will all be for naught. As you can see, not looking good here. Not looking good at all. West, no movement whatsoever. The Germans looking very strong in the early stages of this war. So it is now December 1914, and it is looking very good for the Germans and very grim for us. As you can see, the Russians are on the verge of complete collapse. I'm very worried we're going to get a Russian Revolution here very shortly. So what does this mean? Well, basically it means that I'm going to have to accelerate all my plans. As you can see, I am building up a naval invasion into Germany, taking the Canadian tip of the spear and ready to throw our boys into the German meat grinder. Unfortunately, we have no choice. They have to turn the tide. Serbia is pretty much gone. The Bulgarians or Romanians continue to duke it out, and the Austrians have inched their way deep into Russia, and now the French have sent troops hoping to stem the collapse of the Russian army. And I don't know if it's gonna be effective. All right, it's time. So as you can see, the plan here is to launch our troops, land on these 3 tiles, and then cut across. And hopefully we can hold this area, and that will distract the Germans long enough for the Russians to stabilize, and if we're lucky, the Allies will also throw in some troops. But there's no question it's a gamble. Turns out this is going to be way easier than I thought, as they don't even have troops defending the coastline. And we're landing. What's going on here? Oh my god, we've landed and taken the Germans completely by surprise. They're trying to stream in some troops here, but I think we're going to be able to take Kiel without an issue. We've already got Hamburg. Come on, boys, you could do it. We're looking good. Once we get that encirclement bonus, I think we're going to be able to easily mop them up. Man, we have all these troops, all these advantages, and we're still only doing 80 damage. But at least it's enough to beat their defense. Some of the time. Not all the time. It'll be enough to take the city. And they are done. Beautiful. What a beautifully executed operation. Let's see how that went. Look at those casualty ratios. I mean, especially considering this is World War I. Fucking 4,000 casualties to 0. I'll take that any day of the week. Honestly, this couldn't have gone any better. One of the nice benefits of taking this canal is that it will make it easier for troops to be funneled into Russia, although not looking like it's going to make much of a difference. In any case, though, looks like we got 1 French troop here. And if you saw that, Portugal joined us, so we're saved, clearly. And look at that, the Italians have even managed to gain a little bit of territory against the Austrians. Now we can finally see if our beefy divisions can actually do some damage. Our first push here, gaining some ground, at least in this top tile here. Nice, we managed to take the tile. Gonna assist some of our boys here and see if we can push out. We might actually make a breakthrough here. Wow, these divisions are doing the trick better than I thought they could have possibly done. I know this is not historically accurate anymore. The good old Canadian naval invasion of Germany. I guess this is our Gallipoli. It looks like we're gaining major ground. Yeah, it's really not looking good for the Germans now. We could actually turn this around. I'm taking as many ports as I possibly can. I want to keep this new front nice and supplied. I'm a little worried we won't have enough troops to hold the front, though. Looks like these beefcake divisions are definitely doing the job. Able to cut through the German defenses, some of the time at least. But this is going beautifully. I can't believe how successful this has been. If only old General Haig had discovered the usefulness of 40-width divisions, eh? So as you can see here, I'm trying to take this river line. It's time to establish some sort of defensive position, and maybe we can actually then launch an attack on Berlin. I mean, that would be incredible. Oh god, look at this. Oh no. Oh, what a brutal encirclement. There's not even a port there. These poor Russians and French. I'm not sure if our attack has honestly made any difference. They have a huge front line, so they're going to have to siphon some of those off to fight us. But look at this. We're at the gates of Berlin. Oh man, we might actually take it. This is some good news for us. The Ottomans are getting crushed. I mean, they really did lose it all in the Balkan War, so I'm not surprised. We still haven't been able to take Berlin, but we're winning the fight. In fact, we're winning it pretty comfortably. 3 days left. 3 days until Berlin falls. Hopefully. Can Ludendorff hold the city against General Steele? Look, I haven't even given him his upgrades and he's still doing so fantastically well. 89%. Look at that. The Germans have left a nice little hole for us to run right through. Maybe this is a little risky. I'm worried we might not have the troops to supply an encirclement here. Either way, any troops we can draw away from Berlin or from the Russians is worthwhile. Looks like they were able to actually reinforce Berlin. Still holding on to Berlin, but now there's no commander. I think it's over. I think it might actually be over. And we're also managing to snake through. The Germans don't even have any troops on these front lines. Might be able to get another little encirclement here. And that's it. That's it. The Canadians have taken Berlin. What a beautiful sight. In March 1915, somehow the Canadians' naval assault was a roaring success. So successful that the Canadians were actually able to take Berlin. But for whatever reason, the Germans continue to fight on. So we're just going to have to keep going here. And look at that, another encirclement for our troops. I can't believe I just noticed that Hamburg doesn't actually have a port in it. So thank God we took Kiel, because it would have been a disaster if we didn't. Hopefully we can grab another 2 divisions here. And they are still holding on somehow. But I don't think they'll be able to hold on for much longer. French finally sending some troops to assist. I want to see this bloodbath here. The Great Romanian-Bulgarian War to the death. Look at that. 250,000 casualties for Romania and 150,000 for Bulgaria. I wonder how many Canadians we've lost. Only 14,000 in comparison to 50,000 Germans killed. Honestly, I thought we would have killed more than that. But still, the Germans have almost 1 million casualties, which is pretty good. But I am a little disappointed with that 50,000 number. Here's the big strategy right now. That is to try and link up my troops with the Allied front line. And if we can do that, then there's no way the Germans can withstand us. Especially if we can take those tiles. There's some sizable industrial bases there. Wilhelmshaven has finally fallen. Oh my god. They're still losing. Look at this. They're going to lose Stalingrad. I don't know how they're going to lose Stalingrad, considering this is like 20 years before it was named Stalingrad. But whatever. Honestly, on a side note here, I'm very impressed with the Italians. The Ottomans still clinging on to life. I thought for sure they'd be done by now. So I'm trying to make my dream a reality of linking up these fronts. And we might actually be able to make some ground here, pushing back the Germans in 2 tiles. Anywhere I can push would be beneficial, especially if I can make any encirclements. Right now, it's just a war of micromanagement, really. And I think we'll be able to push them back here, no problem. Now, can I get behind is the real question. Nope. Well, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It's a seesaw battle. Oh, can we do it? Can we do it? Is it going to be a reality? We're going to get another micro encirclement, which are really the best kind of encirclements you can hope for in a World War I scenario. And yes, another 2 divisions. Another encirclement. Unfortunately, though, we have a gap here in our lines, which I don't like at all. We're just not getting the support we need from our allies to hold the ground here. They lost Stalingrad. What a tragedy. But somehow the Russians are still alive, which kudos to them. Montenegro back in a big way too. And even Serbia. Got another industrial city in our sights here. In our slow crawl towards the Allied front lines, this is our next target. But the real question is, are we going to be able to cross the river? Taking the city, I don't think, will be a problem. One thing I'm really liking about this scenario is just how granular it is. The French have continued to bash their heads against the German lines, running out of troops and guns. And honestly, now that I've taken some of this area here, I should probably build some trenches to defend it. I don't think Ludendorff will be able to hold. And he was not. I should have been paying attention here, though. I am not micromanaging my troops very well. Can we get across the river? Can we get across the river? Please get across the river. Please get across the river. I believe. I believe. Oh, we got to cross the river. We're taking on von Lettow-Vorbeck, one of my favorite German generals of World War I. He was actually stationed in Africa in our timeline and won a series of incredible victories against all odds, which ultimately amounted to nothing when it was all said and done. But that was more due to the fact that the German army really couldn't realistically resupply him so far away. So the French and British have completely abandoned me and just decided that they were going to leave great holes in our most important line. But we might be able to gain another encirclement here at least. This guy behind here is really bothering me, so hopefully I can get rid of him. Man, can we actually make the push? We're so close. We're so close to actually linking up with the front line. Oh, if I just had a little bit more support from our allies, we could actually do it. They're fighting on a fort here, so I don't think we're going to be able to gain it. At least our trenches got built, so the Germans cannot regain their lost territories. Well, they can, but it's going to take them a lot more than what they have there currently. Can I finally get rid of this guy? How close are the Germans to capitulating? They're just over halfway there. Brutal. Once again, trying to link up our front lines, but we just can't do it. We just run out of steam every time. Fortunately, I'm getting down on equipment too. We still have the manpower to keep our men supplied at least. So, it finally happened. We all knew it was going to happen, and the Russian Revolution is finally upon us. And the Soviet Union is rising up in the place of the rotting Russian Empire. And honestly, I am really worried, considering that I wasn't able to link my troops up together. The Ottomans are still kicking, but hopefully they'll be knocked out fairly quickly here. That might offset some of the loss of Russia, but I don't think so. In the War of the Titans, somehow the Bulgarians have managed to claw their way to the capital. But, wow, actually they managed to really even things up. I thought for sure Bulgaria was going to crush Romania, but nope, they are still fighting on. On our front, things have stalemated, and we haven't been able to push very far forward, and I think we're just going to have to hope for the best and take defensive positions here, because we can easily assume the Germans are going to be charging in hot and heavy, trying to regain their lost territory, and we're going to have to do everything we can to hold them back. And I think it might just end up being one of those bleed out scenarios, as World War I really was. But at least I can force the Germans to come to us, considering that we own their capital. I have to say though, the AI is driving me crazy, specifically my allied AI, who have been incredibly inconsistent. They've helped me hold some positions, but not others. Ultimately though, but what is going on here? Is this a Russian troop somehow trying to pull off some sort of crazy naval invasion? But I can't link up to them for some reason. But it looks like they may have just thrown away one of their divisions. Yeah, I can't go there for some reason. Oh, probably I don't have military access anymore. Yeah, that's it. Okay. That should remedy that, hopefully. Can I actually get there, or... This doesn't even really help me here, because I'm already in a good enough defensive position already. So, now I'm trying to figure out what I should do here. Should I condense these lines together? Should I just hold the positions that we have now? Clearly, my allies are not reliable. So, I'm thinking the best thing to do is just find a good position. And, like I said, just let the Germans bleed themselves out. Because once Russia falls, all those troops are going to come flooding our way. And I can't imagine that Russia's going to last much longer. Look at this. Look at all these French troops. What are you guys doing? They're just sending more and more troops to help this lost cause. It's sad. It really is sad. And like I said, I'm getting worried here. I really don't know what the best choice is. It's pretty clear we gotta go defensive, though. Oh no, what are the French doing? Oh, they're completely abandoning their own front line. What is going on? They're just leaving their most defended positions to let the Germans run forward. And they're coming to me? Or to Russia? Holy fuck. What is happening right now? And things just keep getting worse. Oh, I'm worried that we're going to get encircled. I couldn't pull my troops out fast enough. This could be the end. If I lose my precious divisions, I don't know how I can recover. Oh, here it is. The Treaty of Brest-Litovsk. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Oh, we were able to save those guys. We got to get them out now. The French have really left us in the lurch here. They've left their whole country in the lurch. Oh my god, look at all these French trapped. Just lambs to the slaughter. Oh, Romania joined us. I don't think they're going to last long, but at least they're joining us. Well, it looks like the Germans are releasing their puppets. Wait, what the heck is this? Is that Czechoslovakia? And Hungary? Austria-Hungary is breaking up right now. Oh, peace conference. Who's dropping out? Who's dropping out? Serbia and Bulgaria have signed a white peace. The German Republic. Oh my god. Oh my god, did we win? Did we actually win this somehow? Did the Germans just capitulate and we signed the Treaty of Versailles? Holy crap. That's exactly what happened, isn't it? Is Germany still fighting anybody? There it is, the Treaty of Versailles. I'll take it, man. I'll take it. It's 1915. We pretty much single-handedly caused this to happen. Why this happened now, I'm not sure. Especially considering that they just won their great victory in Russia and were poised to reclaim all their territory. I mean, then again, to be fair, we did own their capital, but we did own it for a very long time before they just randomly decided to capitulate. So I'm guessing more than a few extremists are going to be unhappy with the results of this war. As for us, though, Canada pretty much single-handedly won World War I with our epic naval invasion, and not only that, we won World War I before the end of 1915. And what's interesting is the only things that were different were the timing and the method, but the borders are relatively the same as the historical Treaty of Versailles. So we still ended up with a historical result. We have a bunch of new countries like Yugoslavia, The fall of the Russian Empire. Ukraine is still kicking around. What's going on here? Oh, everyone's just canceling their Lend-Leases with us. Fall of the German Empire, of course. So, yeah. Go Team Canada, I guess. These poor guys got trapped in Luxembourg. I have no choice but to disband them and, of course, reform them back on the home country, leaving us with only 2 whole actual divisions. Check out this focus here. The Contest the Greeks focus gives us a annex war goal against the Kingdom of Greece. Sure, why not? Let's do it. We've already pretty much accomplished all the goals of this particular campaign, so why not end it with something random? Gotta put a little exclamation point on this somehow. Okay, so we actually have our naval invasion ready to go. I just have to assign my my fleets to the area. Okay, perfect. And here we don't go. Fuck. That's right, I forgot that you can't declare war as a puppet of another country. Well, this is kind of anticlimactic. Well, I've talked it up enough, so I have no choice. I'm just going to shotgun it here. No CB, which in case you don't know, is a console command which lets you commit to any diplomatic action of your choosing. So obviously we're going to do that, declare war. Don't need to call any allies or anything like that. Check out this slapdash naval invasion of Greece. Just lines going everywhere. Hopefully this will be successful. Oh man, 2 of them are going to have to wrap back around. But that's okay. I think we'll be able to take Athens here. The whole point was to isolate them and surround them. And I think it's going to work. Beautiful. We took it. Easy, easy, easy. Another successful invasion for the Canadian Army. Battle for the Peloponnese here. Just about wrapped up. And now we just have to push northward. Alright, let's see if we can actually break this line here. They got 15 divisions, though. No, there's no way we're going to be able to break through that. That's not happening. So, that leaves us with no choice, really. We're going to have to do another naval invasion. This time to Thessaloniki. Let's compare our armies. Look at that. 250,000 men in the field. In comparison to 100,000 Greeks. And about 6-to-1 casualty ratio. 68 factories. That is insanity. So our naval invasion is almost ready. I think we can just click the button here. And off we go. Okay, I'm hoping we can land quickly and efficiently. Are we going to be able to surround them right off the bat here? I think so. And that's about it for Thessaloniki. And there's a wrap. That's it. The Canadian invasion of Greece. Another roaring success for the Canadian Army. Good job, Canada. Now that all is said and done, what am I going to do with our new Canadian Greek territory? All to help out the Turks here, even though we can't actually advance to the next focus, but whatever. Can I release these guys? Yes, I can. I'll release them as a puppet. So now, Greece is a puppet state within a puppet state. Alright, everybody. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up here for this particular campaign. I mean, World War I is over. I have accomplished my experiment. And, of course, Canada won it single-handedly. And then we invaded Greece. Exactly the historically accurate playthrough I envisioned when I started this game. So, now I have no idea what I'm going to call this video. I was going to call it something like Historically Accurate World War I Canadian Playthrough, but now I have no idea. Honestly though, I had a ton of fun making this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed making it. And I know I promised some historical Canadian World War I facts at the start of this video, so here we go. Vimy Ridge, we kicked ass. There's a monument there. It's considered Canadian national soil. It's also on our $20 bill.